when Aubameyang plays left, he's not as good as when he plays up top. So, you know, and maybe Emery's found a little formula that may bring Arsenal forward.
It ain't going to work on Wednesday, though. So he better revert back to something else, innit? Because what I'm saying is, Wenger or no Wenger, Jose's got Arsenal's number. And like, I don't care how bad we are. I'm saying this. I don't care how bad we are. We ain't losing to you, lot. Yes, guys, we are back with another Neeks Sports podcast, episode 6. Guys, it's been 6 weeks, and we still ain't got a name. I mean, are we just sticking with the Neeks Sports podcast? Or Ramone, you were away in the sun of the Caribbean. You didn't come up with no ideas, a bit of inspiration, or you just partying?
Nah, I ain't got nothing. Just wait. I thought you guys would have got it by then. I thought I'll take 2 weeks.
We sent you away in your sabbatical on an international break to get the juices flowing, the creative juices flowing.
I ain't got nothing.
Well, anyway, guys, listen. We asked in the first one. We're asking again. If you got any ideas about what we should be calling this podcast, any snazzy names, just drop us a comment. Whatever social media you're watching, listening to, just drop us a comment and let us know. But the North London derby. Now, we were here was it last week? Yeah. And we do predictions in the North London derby?
I don't think did we?
No, I think maybe not, but I think I was on with. I was supposed to have Hope actually on a Fan Park Live, and yeah, it was after the Arsenal. Yeah, you called in, didn't you?
Yeah.
After the Arsenal Volska game in the Europa League, I was personally saying, I think both teams obviously going into the game are confident. Arsenal were 18 unbeaten at the time. Spurs had beaten Inter Milan, and obviously before that, they'd beaten Chelsea, but. I felt both of them were in a good place, but I thought Spurs obviously they were heading the table. They played 2 big teams and won both of them. Arsenal, one of Arsenal's criticisms, Arsenal
played more than 2 big teams
in that week.
Oh, in that week. Oh, okay.
Some of Arsenal's criticisms this year have been the big size. They haven't won. Obviously, 2 of them was start of the season, and then Liverpool was in between all that. But I said going to Arsenal, going to the Emirates, Spurs have the inferiority complex. There's many times over the years where they've been the better team that season, the better team the last 2 years, whatever it is, and you say Spurs should be favourites. But they come to play Arsenal, especially away from home, and they just can't do it. Whatever it is, they bottle it. They get a bit Spursy. So I said, I think they're going to have that inferiority complex, and they're going to get a draw. Because they should win, but they're going to draw. Half time, I was like, boy, maybe they're going to win. And then it just got a bit Spursy. They crumbled. And I'm not even, the worst part is I'm not even surprised because it's like you expect that from us, but you're kind of like, oh, how did that happen? You're like, oh, it's happened again. That's what you're saying. It's happened again. 2-1 up, and they messed it up as the fans told us.
Listen, as you said, I'm not surprised. I said to you, I spoke to you last week, and I said I'd predict Arsenal winning 3-1. You told me how you be so confident. I said, listen, first of all, it's a derby. The same way you said before the Manchester derby, it's a derby, anything can happen. It's the same thing. Spurs could come in the best form of their life. This is the best season they've ever had in the Premier League at the start season. So they should be coming in expecting to win. But I feel like the way Arsenal are playing now, and I don't know if people weren't believing us before Liverpool game, they might be believing us now. The football we're playing is different to what we were playing last year. There's players in there that weren't there last year, that weren't playing at their best as they were last year. I said this last year as well with Xhaka. I said he needs a DM behind him. If he has a DM behind him, he'll be a better player. There he goes, and he's proven the point. Even in that first half, even at half time, we were the better team. We came out aggressive. We wanted the ball. Spurs. I was watching it with a Spurs fan at the time, and they were like, what's going on? What's happening with your team?
That was probably one of the best first halves you'll have had this season, because usually you start very slow.
Yeah. And again, but even still, we had that point in the first half where we dropped our guard, and I think North London derby took his toll with Eric Dyer celebrating in front of the fans and the bench, having a bit of a fracas with the Spurs players, and that's when it became the North London derby. That's when the heat came, and
I see the group chat was popping off, fight.
Yeah. Fighting within 5 minutes, we're 2-1 down, and it's like, and at that point, people are thinking, is this Arsenal again? Is this the Arsenal when Arsenal come back to haunt them? back in. But as we do, we've never been ahead in the first at half time so far this season in the Premier League. So we're again behind at half time, and Emery rings the changes and job done really from then. I just knew it was gonna happen. We just needed that first goal, get to 2-2.
Even at 2-1, you were confident.
Yeah, I was confident. I said I still think we can get something from this game. And at 2-2, the next goal was just coming.
I think for me at 2-2 it was like I at that point I felt Arsenal's gonna go on and win it at home. The crowd's behind you. You got to go just after half time. You've made the substitution, brought in Lacazette. So you got 2 strikers on the field. Carl, how did you see that panning out? Because I'm sure in your prediction you said you think Spurs will trouble. Arsenal.
No, I had down a Spurs 2-1 win. I had Spurs win at 2-1. Obviously, I didn't expect any of them to keep a clean sheet. Kind of obvious, both scoring goals. But it was a little bit of a surprise. I think 4-2. That's 6 goals. 6 goals in the game.
That's normal for a North London derby. I've seen 5-2 like 2 years in a row.
No, but I don't know, man. It's crazy. Like Arsenal are definitely surprising me. For one way or another. I'm now starting to see that they actually have the ability. Because before I was like, even though they're playing well and they're getting the results, it is only a matter of time until they're poor defending or lacking concentration during the 90 minutes, because they're not always fully concentrated in the whole 90 minutes, and they have their moments where they lose concentration, and you see that little Wenger-esque moment in them where they concede a goal or two, and I'm like, it's gonna catch up with them. But we're 14 games in and it hasn't. I mean,
it's like it's the thing, because I've watched some games and I'm like, if this was a better team,
yeah,
they would have
exactly.
capitalised. If it was a
And
better
they
team,
played Liverpool and they played Spurs. And
better team.
It was a better team, and it didn't happen. So I have to see. I have to question: is it really going to catch up with them? Is it really? Are they managing the game that well? Because I think what it is that Unai Emery is managing the team in a way that if they do trail or if they do concede a goal that is an equaliser, he's managed the team so they have enough in them to go on and get the win, if you know what I mean, rather than go out all guns blazing and tire themselves out and then only be 1-0 ahead, and then if they do concede or go behind, they have nothing left to win the match. It's kind of like, we'll have Lacazette on the bench this time. We'll have Aubameyang.
That's one of the reasons.
We'll have pace coming off the bench and run at your man with his tired legs. And he's managing it in a certain way, whether it's Ramsey coming off or Lacazette or Aubameyang. He's managed it in a certain way, and he maybe he knows that defensively we're not the best. So rather than playing all our best 11s, going all out and then only being 1-0 ahead or being at 1-1 and have nothing left to give. If we play with a 70% strength squad and have some of our better players on the bench, and then we can bring them off to win the game, and it's working for them.
I think
style.
that is one of the reasons why he hasn't been starting Lacazette and Aubameyang, because if you play all your aces at once, then you've got nothing in the tank. So you have to start with the dead wood like Iwobi and Mkhitaryan and lull Spurs into a false sense of security. But it shows he made 2 substitutions and it changed the game. And I don't have the timing in front of me, but I think Poch waited a bit long to make his.
He waited till after the 4th.
After the 4th?
Yeah.
Like, you can't do that. Like, man made 2 substitutions. Like, not just 1, 2, but another striker. So not only has he got new personnel, there must be a new tactic, because you've got someone who's come on. Lacazette came on for Iwobi, and Ramsey came on for Mickey. So these players are completely different. So the style is now changing as well. You got to do something to counter it. He's got for me the best centre back in the league on the bench all game. Like, at what point did you think, why?
But he's not 100% fit.
Nah. I'm gonna stop right there.
Play against Inter Milan?
This is what Poch said.
But he played because Voigt wasn't available.
No.
Yeah. Did he play? But he played against Chelsea as well.
No, he was on the bench.
Who played it? No, because
Voigt played.
And Vertonghen was out. Vertonghen was on the bench.
He wasn't back. Yeah.
Alderweireld was on the bench.
Poch said the reason why Alderweireld didn't play is because he's played every game this season and there wasn't enough. He's needed a rest.
Wait. So you rest him for the North London derby?
Exactly.
Nonsense.
That's what Poch said, and that for me,
it was tactical.
Yeah,
it was tactical. I haven't watched Foyth enough, But I think he picked for maybe is he quicker? Possibly, I don't know. He's younger. Is he quicker? I don't know. I think it was a tactical decision by Poch that backfired.
I don't agree with it because the reason why there's no tactical decision that puts Foyth above Alderweireld. There's none.
You say that,
There's
but he played
none.
Son left wing back in the FA Cup semi-final. So you can't listen. Poch does this in his big game, and it's not the first time Poch does this.
Alderweireld's one of the best centre backs in the league. You don't do it.
But last season he dropped him. Obviously, he had Davinson Sanchez, but at that time it was this person they bought for 40 million.
Yeah.
But he was obviously. We know he had some injury issues, but there was points where Alderweireld was fit and he was on the bench. So you're saying no tactical decision puts Foyth ahead, but someone could have said early last season that no tactical decision puts Davinson Sanchez above Alderweireld. But by the end of the season, Alderweireld was second choice.
Yeah. But I guess at the time, Poch said it was tactical, and we said it's not tactical, it's contractual because of the whole problems that he weren't signing a new deal. And at the moment, he's saying that Alderweireld is tired, needs a rest.
Nah, you don't for North London derby.
Yeah. This is what.
And Foyth has been dodgy anyway.
Yeah, I think Ian Ryan mentioned it on Match of the Day that you got Southampton on Wednesday. You rest him then.
Exactly.
It's another game. You rest him then. You bring him playing for North London derby with Vertonghen, and you rest them for Southampton, and you should have enough to get through that game. Because I mean, it's poor, but and I think. And this is again they mentioned it as well. As a striker, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's getting into that game. Or what? You mean Foyth starting and Alderweireld's on the bench? Me as a striker, I'm going for Foyth. I'm happy. It's like that confidence. Then the strikers always say it. When you always look at the other team sheet before you come out to know who you're playing up against, to know where you're gonna go. And they always say you always go to the worst defender on the park. You choose it because. They're your best bet of getting through that defense, and so when you see that, and even if you look at the squad, like they've got Dyer and Sissoko, there's no Dembele in there, so they're already weakened their midfield by not having their one of their best holding midfielders, and now your best centre back is on your bench.
And the thing about it, Vertonghen's been out for a while, so you're putting this youngster, this newbie, next to someone who's kind of just returned. This was I think this is his first start since his return from injury. He didn't start against, or did he start against Inter?
Who's that?
No, Vertonghen did start against Inter, didn't he? Yeah. I think he started against Inter. He didn't start the game against Chelsea. But I'm like, Poch has done it again. Because, as I said, it was that game in the FA Cup semi-final. It must have been last season.
Not last season.
No, season before. Where, he had Song left with man. They gave away the penalty. And there was another big decision he made. I just can't remember which one it was now. I think it was this season. I spoke about it. Where he just makes these errors. Where I would say, it was like, why have you done that? Why have you dropped this person or dropped that person? Son is on a brilliant run of form and all of a sudden he's not on the pitch, and no one can tell me Son's getting tired because that man can run for days.
Yeah, and even I was surprised that Eriksen didn't start against Inter Milan. Yeah, that's a game they had to win, and he had Eriksen on the bench, and
granted he came on and scored.
Yeah, and obviously job was done, but he came on. They scored in the 80th minute. They left it quite late, and okay, maybe they're resting him for the North London derby, but. Eriksen didn't do much in the North London derby. So for me, he does these decisions that you have to question and say, like why? I can't explain what he does or why he does it.
Maybe he's waving the white flag and says we're gonna lose anyway, so we rest the players. We rest the players anyway and move on to the next.
Make sure
game.
we beat Southampton.
Yeah.
For me, the reason why we won that game is because Emery outthought Pochettino. He outthought him at the start of the game by probably not choosing Lacazette, which. I know he was injured and we weren't sure what he was going to do. But the fact that he took none of the players pretty much that played apart from Holding, who started the game, to the Europa League game on Thursday. So
Poch didn't know what he was going to do.
Poch didn't know who he was going to play because Aubameyang didn't travel and Lacazette didn't travel. So Lacazette, we're not sure if he's back.
Mickey travelled, he was on the bench, but he didn't come on.
Yeah,
started again.
Exactly. So he and we knew. Eriksen was going to play because you rested him for the Champions League game, so that was a fact. He was always going to play, and I think at half time as well, you're 2-1 down. It's the 7th time this season he's made a change at half time, and Lacazette comes on and Ramsey comes on, and for the first time I believe this season we played with two up front in terms of Ramsey and Lacazette up top, and I wanted to have it happen, but I wasn't sure how. Now we've gone 5 at the back for the past 2 games. It allows us to go 5-3 or 5-2-1-2 with Ramsey playing in behind Aubameyang and Lacazette, and that was the first. Obviously, the wing backs can be as a midfielders, so they can push up.
Yeah.
So then you start to think, okay, this is what Emery was kind of working towards, is trying to see how they can both play. Because when Aubameyang plays left, he's not as good as when he plays up top. So, and maybe Emery's found a little formula that may bring Arsenal forward.
It ain't going to work on Wednesday, though. So he better revert back to something else, innit? Because what I'm saying is, Wenger or no Wenger, Jose's got Arsenal's number. And like, I don't care how bad we are. I'm saying this. I don't care how bad we are. We ain't losing to you lot. I think, was the last time you lot beat us at Old Trafford? 2006 at the Bayou? I think that's about it, innit?
Yeah.
2018.
My friend. My friend.
We did win.
No, Arsenal's gonna win.
We did win FA Cup. Danny Welbeck, didn't he?
I'm talking about the Premier League, man.
Didn't you say that last time?
I'm talking about the Premier League, man. Well, what was the team that even won that game?
Well, Danny Welbeck scored against David.
Is that says that when Danny Welbeck scored? That says it all, isn't it? The fact that he was even on the pitch. No, but obviously, yeah. Spurs got easy game. Yeah, Mark Hughes sacked Southampton manager, so maybe they might play even a bit better. I don't know. But Arsenal got Man United Wednesday. It's a big game. Like regardless of, it's a big game for many reasons at the moment. Obviously, Arsenal are fighting for top 4. Man United are fighting to fight for top 4.
Top 6. No, fighting for top 6.
We're not,
the Europa League spot.
We're not fighting. I don't
easy.
want it. Like I want top 4 or 7th.
Maybe want the UL2. the Europa League.
I want 4th or 7th. I don't want no 5th or 6th nonsense. I can't be doing Europa League. But Man United at the moment, they're lagging behind. There was 2 games after the Man City game. It was like, cool, we're never going to win that game, whatever. Crystal Palace at home, that's supposed to be 3 points. A bit closer. Chelsea play Spurs, close the gap. Then Southampton away, second bottom of the league, for another 3 points, close the gap a bit more. Arsenal playing Spurs. And then you play Arsenal, and you can really close the gap on your rival playing at home. As it was, Man United got 1 point out of the 2. And now they've gone into a massive game.
No, 2 points.
Sorry.
2-2.
That feels like a loss. I swear, both of them feel like a loss. We lucky even got a bloody point against Crystal Palace. But Carl, what are you expecting? And whatever you say, I know it's going to be the other result because your predictions have been woeful this season.
Whoa, they've been magnificent.
you told me Everton were going to get something out of the derby and Pickford threw away.
Wait, I don't account for goalkeepers throwing.
You got to account for everything, man. You got.
It was going to be a draw, and it was a draw 0-0 up until 95 minutes, and I thought the match was finished. I was walking away, then I heard a loud shout and celebration in my house because my dad supports Liverpool. And I'm like, wait, what just happened? Liverpool have scored.
I couldn't believe it.
Oh.
So lucky.
Especially after Origi hit the bar from 4 yards out.
Yeah.
I thought that was it. Game done.
I genuinely thought that was it, 0-0.
But Manchester United Arsenal. What are you saying?
I already gave my prediction. But I will say it here. I said, because I've got my head says logically. Arsenal should win.
Yeah.
They're like 18 unbeaten.
19.
They've just finishing dismantling Tottenham. They should win. Man United are in dire form.
Agreed.
And they should lose. Being at home means nothing right now. It means absolutely nothing, and they should lose.
Probably worse at
But
home.
my heart says Man United always do have one over on Arsenal. Always. Like always. And there's 2 reasons. It's double the X factor because Mourinho always has Arsenal in his back pocket and Man United always have Arsenal in their back pocket. And now the 2 are together, Man United and Mourinho. But I'm going to go with my head. And my head tells me that Arsenal's going to win. So I'm going to follow my head rather than my heart. And I think Arsenal's going to win 2-1. Neither are going to keep a clean sheet because neither keep clean sheets this season. Both are scoring. As bad as Man United are, Arsenal are going to concede. I don't know who's going to score.
Fellaini, isn't it? Fellaini.
It doesn't matter who, but Arsenal's going to score. Arsenal's going to score 2 or 3.
Ramone.
2-1.
After you called me on AFTV.
Yeah. The thing is, my predictions have been quite good this season. Man City to beat Man United 3-1, called it, and spot on, as I say, in the last podcast. And where you're wrong, Carl. Mourinho has something over Arsene Wenger. That guy's gone. We're in a new era.
Arsene Wenger was at Arsenal.
Yeah,
so
but
it
he's
was
gone.
Arsenal.
He's gone. He's gone.
So
We're
it
in a
was
new
Arsenal.
era. This isn't Arsene
Well,
Wenger's
we shall see
Arsenal.
in it. We shall see
This
because
isn't Arsene
if you
Wenger's
don't,
Arsenal.
if you don't beat Man United, then he's got something over Arsenal because Wenger's not there.
Well, we'll have to see. But what I'm saying to you, he's got something over Arsene Wenger. Arsene Wenger couldn't beat him at Chelsea. And Arsene Wenger could beat him at Man United. Emery now is a different kettle of fish altogether. I said this before, again. I said this last week. I'm more confident playing Spurs than Man United. Derby day,
As you should be.
Derby day,
Because you're at home.
Derby day. The win was always there for me. Man United away, no matter, regardless of, and I kind of see it similar to the Spurs game where, in a sense, form does go out the window a bit because of the history between the sides. You know, there's so much between them getting all the way back to sort of late 90s up to now. A lot of the players know the history. And going back throughout the years, this has always been a big game. So, in a sense, you know, no matter how bad Man United are playing and about how good Arsenal are playing, which isn't the best. It's not the best Arsenal I've ever seen. It's an improving Arsenal, but we're not at the best yet. And as you said, defensively, we have been bad. Leno's made a mistake again in the North London derby. So defensively, we conceded a penalty as well, whether it was right or wrong. So we're not the best. So having said that, Man United are awful at the moment. Awful. Now, the thing is, my head and my heart say the same thing.
Oh, Man United, nice one.
And it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a draw. I can't see nothing. I can't see nothing more than a draw. I can't see a Man United win or an Arsenal loss or an Arsenal win. Sorry, I just can't see it. So I'm gonna go for 2-2. I think, man. I just feel like it will be. David De Gea can't keep clean sheet to save his life. Supposed to be the best goalkeeper in the world. So yeah, man. I'm going for 2-2, man. Sanchez is bottling it. Hamstring injury, out for 6 weeks. He has a hamstring injury for 6 weeks.
Listen, it's gonna be a tough game because it's always a tough game. It's a I say always. It ain't always a tough game. Sometimes someone gets a rollicking. A rollicking, yeah. There's been a 6-1 and an 8-2 that come to mind. Even you lot beat us 3-0 at the Emirates one time. I think it was under Sanchez did a thing, and that was under LVG. But yeah, we're playing so bad, but I think we're actually going to stink out the place and just make it a terrible, terrible game, which isn't going to feed into Arsenal. I mean,
we're saying park the bus.
I don't know if we're going to park the bus.
I don't know if they know how to anymore.
It's just going to be long balls to Fellaini and
Lukaku.
Like, no, but my issue is that Lukaku's fat. That's the first thing. He needs to lose some weight.
Hench.
Second, he ain't hench. He ain't hench. Second,
get on Fury's diet plan.
Secondly, since he's back in the team, Martial is doing nothing. Get it. Martial was on fire when Lukaku was out. You bring Lukaku back, Martial can barely get in the team.
Lukaku only played one game.
Lukaku played 2 games. He played against Juventus. Young Boys.
Come off the bench.
He started against Young Boys.
Oh, did he?
He came off the bench against Juventus. It was terrible. Mr. Sitter. Started against Young Boys. We were terrible. And then obviously started against Southampton. Granted, he scored. But yeah, since he's been back, Martial can't do anything. I'm like, that movement that he was having with, it was obviously Rashford, it was Lingard, it was Sanchez. It's all static. He's got a man up front just blocking up the path, and everyone's having to work around him. So my issue is that Lukaku's even starting when it's clear that right now, and maybe for the foreseeable future, we are better without him. Because as I said, for years, Martial for me is our best striker, potentially. And for now, I'll say in real terms, actually, he's our best striker. So if Lukaku starts, it's going to be an awful, awful game. Long balls, him and Fellaini, doing duos up top, tag team up top. But yeah, we can't defend. So Arsenal's definitely going to score. If not 1, then 2. But I think I was gonna say I think we're gonna nick it. I think we're gonna.
But if you concede 2, are you really gonna nick it?
It's corners and those kind of things. I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, we're gonna get it down the right and whip it back and then cut. I don't even know who's gonna start. Like right now, I don't even know. At the moment, I heard today apparently Jones is injured. So that means we ain't got no centre back. We got Rojo possibly coming back for his first start in how many months? I don't know if Lindelof is back. I'm not sure what Smalling's situation is.
Fellaini got that centre back.
Lindelof's out till Christmas.
Oh, it's after Christmas, so yeah, it might be Smalling's coming back. I don't know. Are you gonna go with McTominay and Matic at the back? Like, if we have them two against Lacazette and or Aubameyang, then it's curtains, isn't it? But yeah, I think we'll nick it by 1 goal. It could be 2-1, but it could be 3-2. I don't know, but yeah, it's not gonna be a good game. And even if we win it, we still ain't getting top 4. Top 4's done. We're done. We'll win that game, and then we'll play Fulham. I think it's Fulham we got on the weekend or something like that, and we'll probably draw. So, yeah, so it's like it's just a bit safe face. Like I said, when we put under Moyes, we were 8th in the league, 11 points behind Arsenal or something like that. And they came to Old Trafford. Van Persie scores 1-0. Yes, good. And then next week we're losing and drawing and all that. So it's just something to get us through Christmas, innit? I can go into work the next day and I can enter the group chat, because if we lose, I'm not in the group chat. Just don't even message me. My phone's on silent.
You will be messaged.
You ain't gonna hear from me.
You will be.
Listen, I'm gonna send.
It's not even gonna be me, but
I'm gonna send in the lineups at the starting an hour before kickoff, whatever. And if we don't win, if we lose, should I say, you ain't hearing from me. I tell you that. Give me a good couple of days or so. You ain't hearing from me. But
I do have to say though, with Arsenal, obviously we're 19 games unbeaten now, and I would say, I'd probably say taking out the League Cups and Europa Leagues, because the teams we played in there, you should be beating them regardless. The Premier League teams, I think it's a weird. People said again, most of them teams we should be beaten, but I think Man City have made us believe that we should be beating all the teams, because they are wiping teams out left, right, and centre, and that there's a lot that then brings a lot more pressure to the top 6 to do similar.
I'm gonna slightly disagree.
Big 6 to do
what
similar.
I say, no, I don't think anyone can expect you to win all of those games, which you have done. You pretty much won in terms of the Premier League, won pretty much all of them, and I think that in itself is an achievement. But beating Bournemouth, or beating Crystal Palace, or beating, you didn't even beat Crystal Palace, you drew with them, didn't you?
Yeah.
Or beating Fulham, in and of itself isn't a massive achievement, because in a one-off game, you say, yeah, we should win that. But you just know that across a period of time, one of those games you're going to drop off. So I think, yeah, it depends how you look at it. I say, these are games Arsenal should win, yes. But I'm surprised they've won as many as they have, because you're supposed to drop a point or lose a game in that period, and you haven't. So I think, yeah, it's definitely then you played Liverpool, you played Spurs, and yeah, you've more than held your own.
Yeah, got through it
in both the games. So I guess it's if you were to beat Man United again, even as bad as we are, then I'm not saying title, because it's Man City, isn't it? But I think people have to start really taking Arsenal seriously. I don't know what for until we see it. Like, what are we actually talking about? Maybe we have to start talking about them in the realms of Liverpool, because Liverpool, okay, granted, they got to the Champions League final last year, but many teams get to finals because it's a cup. It can happen. But in the league, last year they finished 4th. This year, they're not playing well. So if Arsenal to beat all these teams, Spurs, Man United, draw with Liverpool, then maybe people have to start putting a bit more respect on their name. I mean, people, not being me, I'm not putting no respect on Arsenal, but people out there, they might have to.
You should be, man. You should be.